There comes a moment in every person's life when you sit alone at the edge of your bed, staring at your phone, waiting for someone to text you back. A friend, a partner, a family member, a person you thought was important, a person you thought you were important to. But the phone does not light up, the message does not come, and you begin to question something far deeper than their silence. You begin to question your worth. This is where the story begins. Not with confidence, not with strength, but with the truth that every human being faces. We have all chased people who were never chasing us. We have all bent backwards for someone who didn't even turn around. We have all waited for love, validation, attention, approval. That never came. And that moment hurts. It hurts not because they didn't choose you. It hurts because you forgot to choose yourself. You forgot that value is not found in someone's reply, someone's approval, or someone's presence. Value is something you build. Value is something you become. Value is something no one can take, even when they walk away. But here's the truth Giacomo teaches. When you chase people, you lose value. When you chase value, people chase you. Think about the most successful, grounded, powerful people you know. They are not chasing. They are not begging. They are not proving. They are becoming. They are building. They are growing. They are evolving. They are increasing their value every single day, not to impress someone, but to express who they truly are. And so in this first chapter, I want you to picture one thing, an empty chair. That empty chair represents all the people who left, all the people who ignored you, all the people who didn't appreciate you. Instead of staring at that empty chair waiting for someone to come back, you're going to stand up. You're going to push that chair into the corner, and you're going to build a life so strong, so full, so rich, that the people who once ignored you will wonder how they ever overlooked you. This is not about revenge. This is about rebirth. This is not about chasing people. This is about chasing the one thing no one can take away from you. Value. And value begins with the decision to stop running after people who don't recognize your worth and start investing in the very things that make you powerful. Because the moment you choose yourself, your life begins to change. There is a specific moment, tiny, quiet, invisible, when your entire life begins shifting. It is not dramatic. It is not loud. It is not cinematic in the Hollywood sense. It is the moment you whisper to yourself, "I'm done chasing." Maybe it happens after a breakup, maybe after losing a friendship, maybe after being taken for granted one time too many, or maybe after a lifetime of being the one who always gives more, cares more, tries more, and ends up broken more. At first, this moment feels like defeat. It feels like giving up. It feels like losing something important. But what you're actually losing is the weight that was holding you back. You're losing the need to be liked, the fear of being alone, the habit of seeking external validation, the belief that someone else has to choose you before you can choose yourself. This is the moment the shift happens. Not outside, not in your circumstances, inside you. And that internal shift is powerful, almost like a spiritual earthquake. Because here's the truth. People feel when you stop chasing them. Your energy changes. Your presence changes. Your boundaries change. Your frequency rises. You stop trying to be accepted. You start trying to be authentic. You stop trying to impress. You start trying to improve. You stop obsessing over where you stand in someone else's life. You start focusing on where you're going in your own life. People begin to notice. Some become curious. Some become intimidated. Some become regretful. Some become inspired. But that's not the point. The point is that you no longer wake up wondering who texted you. You wake up wondering who you're becoming. And when a person reaches this moment, where value becomes more important than people's approval, everything about their life starts shifting. You become more selective. You speak differently. You move differently. You walk differently. You no longer settle for the minimum. You no longer tolerate disrespect. You no longer negotiate your worth. It's not arrogance, it's clarity. And this clarity is the birthplace of confidence. The moment you stop chasing others is the moment you can finally chase your own growth. And the moment you start chasing your growth is the moment the world starts chasing you. This is where the transformation becomes real. Because deciding to stop chasing people is only the first step. The next step is building yourself into someone so strong, so grounded, so powerful that the idea of chasing anyone feels absurd. You know what's attractive, not looks, not money, not status, not cars or clothes or followers. The most attractive thing in the world is a human being who knows their value and lives by it. A person with standards, a person with direction, a person with purpose. A person who is not scared to walk alone. A person who does not beg for love because they know they are love. A person who does not beg for attention because they know they bring value to every space they enter. This kind of person becomes magnetic. They don't need to chase anything because everything gravitates toward them. But how do you become this person? You start by becoming brutally honest with yourself. Ask yourself, what habits are destroying my confidence? What people are draining my energy? What dreams have I been ignoring? What skills have I been avoiding? What excuses have I been repeating? What pain have I been running from? This honesty is painful, but value is built in the moments of discomfort. Then you begin working on yourself, not for validation, not for applause, not for attention, for you. You start reading, you start learning, you start building discipline, you start taking care of your mind, your body, your spirit. You start doing the things you've postponed for years. You start becoming someone you can rely on, and slowly, very slowly, you begin to notice something. Your self-worth grows, your presence changes, your energy becomes more powerful, your boundaries get stronger. Your standards get higher, your life becomes richer in ways you didn't even expect. People who ignored you once, now pay attention. People who didn't value you, now feel uncomfortable. People who underestimated you, now reconsider. But remember, this very important truth. You are not becoming valuable to win them back. You are becoming valuable because you finally realized you deserve it. This entire chapter of your life is about growth, not revenge. Elevation, not validation. Transformation, not approval. You are becoming the person no one can ignore, not because you want acknowledgement, but because you're stepping into who you were always meant to be. There is a kind of power that does not shout, a power that does not announce itself, a power that does not brag, beg, or chase. It is the power of value. And this power is silent. Why silent? Because value doesn't need to prove anything. Value doesn't need recognition. Value doesn't need permission. When you become valuable, from your mindset to your character, from your habits to your discipline, you don't need to tell anyone. Your presence becomes enough. Your energy becomes enough. Your actions become enough. People can feel value before they can see it. They sense something different, something stable, something grounded, something powerful, something rare. And rare things are not chased. Rare things are chosen. When you build your value, people treat you differently. Some will respect you more. Some will distance themselves because your growth exposes their stagnation. Some will admire you. Some will envy you. Some will try to come back into your life because they now see what they missed. But your job is not to manage how people react to your value. Your job is to protect it, because the moment you understand your worth, everything around you changes. You stop accepting half-love. You stop tolerating disrespect. You stop participating in meaningless drama. You stop allowing people to take advantage of your kindness. You stop being emotionally available to emotionally unavailable people. Your standards rise, your boundaries strengthen, your priorities shift, your life elevates. This silent power scares some people, not because you're intimidating, but because you can no longer be controlled by attention or approval. And when you reach this level of value, life gives you a new gift. You realize you don't need most of the people you once chased. You needed growth, you needed confidence, you needed clarity, you needed self-respect, you needed purpose. People were not the answer. Value was, and value is something you build every single day, in your mindset, in your choices, in your discipline, in your character, in the way you show up for yourself, even when no one is watching. This is the quiet, unstoppable power that changes everything. This is the moment your transformation becomes real. Not in theory, not in hope, in action. Because once you stop chasing people and start chasing your value, your life takes a different path. You become someone who no longer sits around waiting for approval. You become someone who creates your own opportunities. You become someone who no longer begs for love. You become someone who loves yourself so deeply that you attract healthier relationships. You become someone who no longer fears being alone. You become someone who loves solitude because solitude becomes your power. You become someone who no longer cries over who left. You become someone who is grateful because their absence became your breakthrough. A new you emerges, a you that is self-respecting, a you that is evolving, a you that is becoming, a you that is ready, a you that is powerful. And from this moment forward, you must live by one rule: never chase people. Chase your value, and the right people will chase you. Chase the habits that make you stronger. Chase the skills that make you wiser. Chase the mindset that makes you unstoppable. Chase the dreams you've buried. Chase the version of yourself you were too afraid to become. Your life is not waiting on a person. Your life is waiting on you. This is your rise. This is your turning point. This is your moment. Stand up, build your value, protect your peace, honor your worth. Walk like someone who finally knows who they are. And remember this, as the final message of this entire journey: when you stop chasing people, you stop losing yourself. When you start chasing your value, you finally find yourself. And when you find yourself, the world finds you too. Now go. Begin the journey. Become the person you were born to be. Not tomorrow, not next week. Today. Your life is waiting.